do something useful with this. Now I guess that kind of depends what you define as something useful, but we have been sitting on this motor for like months now since it came out of the Civic, and I have had a plan the entire time of something I want to do with it, but I have yet to be able to like just start it and have the space to keep it going while I'm doing other stuff. But I've been waiting a long time to get my hands on just like a scrap motor, and I finally have the chance, and we're gonna do some cool shit with this motor. I want to make as many household items with this thing as I possibly can. It has always been like something I've always wanted to do, is just turn any motor into just like whatever I can that can be in my living room, but that I can, you know, just like something cool to put in the house. So this is what we're starting with. This is a D-Series Honda motor for those of you guys that have not been following the channel or don't know what's going on. First of all, make sure you just go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any more of the awesome content we have coming for you. But this is the old D-Series that we had in the hatch. Now, we swapped a B18 into the hatch. We had this thing boosted before, and we tried to kill it and it wouldn't blow up. So since it didn't blow up, I feel like it's a good starting point to do what we're doing. I guess phase one is just a complete teardown phase, and then I'm assuming that I'm not gonna be able to clean this off. Like, this is pretty custy. This is like a 300,000 kilometer motor, and we boosted it, and it leaked a lot because it didn't like that. First things first, we're gonna take off the transmission, we're gonna drain all the fluids, make sure everything is out, and then literally just tear this thing right down to the bone. Basically nothing assembled, so that we can start assembling our own stuff. Also, just so it's said, if you guys think I know what I'm doing or I have a plan, I don't have a plan. I literally haven't even looked into what other people are doing for ideas because I don't want to be like swayed one way or the other. I just want this to be 100% whatever I come up with. So if I'm doing stupid shit, I have no idea what I'm doing. This is the first rod I've ever looked at like in my hand, and I don't know about you guys, you cannot tell me that that looks straight. You can't tell me that's straight, dude. That has got a huge bend in it. Okay, so here's the T. Oh, Emerson, just shut up. I'm gonna tell you guys the T with Emerson because he's gonna love this. Come here, I got a surprise. You remember how many times we tried to blow a Civic and it was perfectly fine? Mm-hmm. Look how not perfectly fine it was. I just found this. I haven't even showed them yet. I showed them one that was kind of bent. Look at the rod on that thing. Oh! Dude, this is nuts. I thought this one was bad. I literally showed them this one. I was like, oh dude, we kind of bent it. Look at that. That's what was making that knocking noise. The one that we thought was bad the whole time. Oh man, we were literally like a couple really good pulls away from sending that one.
Held 25 pounds.
It held 25 pounds, but look at it, turned into a piece of bacon, dude. Okay, so we took the block and the head to Lordco. Basically, like, I know I can do a good job cleaning those things up. I could probably get it clean enough to make it into something and look good, but my theory is, like, all the little things, like, even if you just look on this, pretend this was like your block, all these little ports and stuff that go places, I can't get in there. So basically, like, I can get it clean, it'll look nice, but if I put it in the house, it's gonna smell like oil. So we dropped off the head, we dropped off the block at a Lordco machine shop. He said it's gonna be about 80 bucks, it'll take a couple days. And while that is done, I have completely cleaned everything else, and I think we're ready to start going. Block and head aside, these are the parts that I'm kind of left with. But what we're gonna do for starters, I have this lamp from inside my house. I don't know if Courtney's gonna be super thrilled that I stole this while she was at work or not, but I have this lamp, and I wanna make it into something less boring. So me and Emerson had a couple ideas of what we could use to, like, for the lamp. What I think is gonna work best, I wanna take this camshaft and I wanna turn this into like a lamp post, just because I think it looks cool. And honestly, I'm pretty sure this end, it's this guy right here, guaranteed. That would fit nice, and it threads. Because if we put a nut and bolt through the bottom, it should hold itself up, and then we just have to figure out how to tear this guy apart and get it on top of that. There's no way I'm getting this wire in there just because this is way too hard, and that would require a drill bit that's way longer than anything I've ever seen. Next, I just got to figure out how to get this. Oh dude, that actually sits there like a dream. I think we're done. Because I fed the wire through this little slit right here, I just spun it so that the slit it's coming through is in the back. And then what I'll do is like, this specific lamp goes on a table like way up, and this just runs behind the table. So if you just do like something like that, you won't even really notice it. Like, you'll notice it, but it's better than it being friggin' all dangly in front. So excuse the mess on the table, but aside from the mess, are you guys ready for this? Furniture piece number one, the lamp. Hell yes, dude. I can't believe this thing actually works. That's sick, and that was super easy. Take it back inside and put it where it belongs before Courtney gets home from work. And at least when she gets home and she goes to turn on the light, there's still gonna be a light. It's just not the one she's expecting. Household item number one, finished. Honestly, it doesn't look super bad. Like, sure, it looks a little funny, but if you're going into a car guy's house, like, it doesn't look totally out of place. Okay, the second thing I want to build with all this stuff is something that I actually kind of need. So, this is all a disaster right now, strictly because of this project. If this wasn't going on, I could clean everything up. But if you guys look over here, my little speaker buddy is on the floor. And it has been on the floor ever since we moved to this garage, because in the old garage we had that shelf above the workbench. We don't have that anymore. So what I want to do is I want to make a shelf that I can put that speaker on so it's not on the floor anymore. And something that came with our new house, I guess, is this live edge shelf. Now, like, the shelf itself is kind of dope, but this is like the top part, and it's kind of old and like really wavy. So anytime you put anything on there, it doesn't look right. It's like half floating, so it sucks. I want to turn this bottom piece, which is still kind of flat, into a shelf, and I think we're going to use the piston. So I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to put the pistons and rods together with this to make it work. I feel like this will also be something that's pretty simple to do. I need a shelf in here, so I was like, why not just build the shelf as part of this? And I'm pretty sure these will be pretty easy to drill into. And they actually came out pretty clean. This was just a wire brush and some brake clean. That's all I used on them. And that's how clean they came. Like, I'm actually pretty impressed by how good of a job you can do on these things. For something that has such an important job, I drilled through that way too easy. I feel like this was pretty easy too. I thought what I was gonna be doing was like hard. Not hard, but hard for you guys to maybe like replicate, but it's super simple. Like, and this looks so cool. I'm gonna put screws through these holes into the wall. I'm not sure how I'm gonna get to the top one, but I'm gonna put screws through that into the wall, and then it's just gonna sit like that on the wall as a shelf. And from the side, it'll look super cool. Oh yeah, I also didn't have a countersink bit, so I just used a bigger drill bit, just the depth of the head of that. But I do remember, right when I was looking underneath it, I remembered I bought something like a couple weeks ago for when I was doing this. These guys. I bought some hooks so I could make it into a key holder. I totally forgot I wanted to do that. So this will still be the shelf, it'll still be the speaker shelf, but I'm gonna double it as a key holder, and we'll just take that one down because we don't use it. Boom, baby. I'm actually super excited about that. That was something I had no intentions of doing when I started this video, and I'm super stoked about it. It's like kind of subtle from the front. You just see like the two pistons. Then as soon as you like walk around and look at it, it's super dope. It looks super cool, and because it's got the live edge, I think that just adds like an extra like schnazz to it. Household item number 2 is completely finished. Third thing I want to do could be the simplest thing, or it could be one of the hardest things I want to do. I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty simple, but what I want to do is I want to turn the clutch into a clock. I feel like for some reason that would be really cool to have a clock on the wall that is like the background of it is a clutch. So I literally just went to the dollar store and I picked up this clock. This clock was $4. It's nothing special. All I want is like the internals from inside of it. I just want like the actual mechanism, I think. So I guess we'll put a AA battery in it, make sure that it works because it was only $4. And as long as it works, we're literally just gonna tear this thing apart and somehow put it in either the clutch, maybe the clutch and the pressure plate. I'm not exactly sure what we're gonna use yet. But this one's cool, and this is something that you guys who don't even have like a blown motor, who just have like an old used clutch, or literally can just get an old used clutch from someone, can do for $4. $4 clock is ticking away. Honestly, I thought there was gonna be way more to it. That was like way too easy. And this is all we needed, was the little box and the arms. Oh, dude, that's perfect. I was looking at this thing and I was like, dude, even if I put this thing on there, I have no idea where the little black box is gonna go. It's gonna have to stick out the back, which means it's gonna have to sit off the wall kind of funny. And then I came to this conclusion that if I just pop it open, I can sandwich it in here. So I drilled out these rivets and took the back of like this, I don't know, I would call this like the spring part of the clutch. I like drilled out these 4 rivets. You can pop this guy off. And then essentially I'll just like get rid of this, put the springs back so it looks cool, and then re-bolt it down with this little thing in here, like this, so that it's sandwiched in between. Like that literally is the most perfect fit I've ever seen. Dude, everything I do with this motor, every single thing I keep doing makes me happier and happier. Like, I can't believe I just did that. I was expecting it to be cool, but I was not expecting it to be this cool. It literally fit perfectly in. Just like I said, I just put like a nut and bolt through there to hold the like little clock battery powered part in between the springy things. I'm not too technical with clutches, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, when you flip it over, dude, that looks so tight. It still has the springs. I made sure it's like perfectly up and down. So right now it's 11.05 or 11. Right now it's 11.08. So that's like pretty much right on. I know how to read it, but I think it would look more obviously like a clock with those lines on it. There we go, dude. It's not much. It isn't much, but it does help for those who have trouble reading clocks, I guess. I don't know. It makes it look a little bit more official. And maybe it makes it look a little bit less official. Honestly, now that I'm looking at it, kind of don't know if I like that I did it. Maybe I'll take it off, maybe I'll leave it. I don't really know. For now, I'm gonna hang it back up on this wonky ass screw up here, and we're just gonna let it tick away. Every time I do one, I'm like, I think this was my favorite. I like them all. I like the clock too. Now for the final 2 projects. These are the biggest ones. This is why I've been waiting till the end, and well, I also sent them both to the shop to get cleaned, so I didn't really have them for the last little while, but I just got these back from the machine shop. They have been cleaned, meaning they got dunked in like a bath of some kind of shit, I don't really know. But all it really did was take the oil out. So essentially, if you look in the head, there's like oil in all these crevices, everywhere that you can't see, and it would have smelled. Like I don't have a shop with a storefront to put this in yet. One day I would love to be able to do that, but for now this is gonna go in my house. And I really don't want my house smelling like oil because there's oil in all these secret little passages and stuff. So they've dunked both the head and the block in whatever that bath is, and pretty much cleaned all the oil and all the garbage off of it. So this one's actually gonna be the lighter project. I'm gonna have to do like a final clean on both of these, and I may even paint them. I'm gonna start the final 2 together, trying to scrub all this off, and on this one it's not as bad, but same thing over here. And then we can do the final 2 projects. The aluminum paint on this actually looks unreal. I was super worried that it would kind of make it look a little bit cheesy, like a little bit, you know, fake. I don't know if fake's the right word, but either way, this came out sick. It's like a little bit metallic-y if you look at it in the sun. I don't even know if that captures it, but it looks really, really good. What we're gonna be doing with this is we're gonna be using this as like a wine bottle holder. So this is gonna be like a little like corner table / wine bottle holder. You guys could do like a million things with this. And like I said before, I really wanted to make a table with just like the whole motor, but something about this is just, it's way too small. Like the size of my hand, this is like, you know, it's way too small to be a cool looking table. And I think it's a 4-cylinder thing. If you have like a V8 and there's like a big V and you can put a piece of glass across like the top of it, that looks way, way cooler, in my opinion, than this would. I'll be standing this thing up. This, essentially, it should be pretty easy to do. I'm just gonna build a little bit of like a couple feet so it doesn't sit right on the ground. And then I think this one's gonna get like a wood top. For some reason, this bolt ended up not wanting to thread in farther than just the tip, and I guess I didn't really check it when I was doing it. So we have another one in here. I'm gonna have to paint this one black to match the rest. But aside from that, I think we're done. I mean, you could do nicer legs. It's gonna go in my kitchen. My kitchen has really, really hard tile floors, so like I'm really not worried about it. If it was gonna go somewhere else, I'd put maybe like some felt on the bottom or like something to keep it from scratching. But if anything, my kitchen floor will destroy these bolts before these bolts destroy the kitchen floor. I've like kind of just tried to level all these off, so they should be pretty even. Take it quickly and put it on its feet and make sure. Hey dude, that looks okay. Simple. This is simple. It's like, it's kind of tiny, but kind of cute, you know? I don't really know where Courtney's gonna want it, so I'm just gonna leave it there till she gets home. But we'll throw some wine bottles in it so she can see it when she gets home. We're gonna throw this thing, which is literally, hello, got lights in it, in the bottom. The only other bottle of wine we have is this one, but it's kind of awkward because it gets bigger towards the top and it doesn't really go in too deep. It stops right about there because it's a stupid shape. So we're gonna put this one on top like that. That gives you guys like a cool, oh, no, we're trying to film, get in there. That gives you guys like a cool little idea of what it would look like, and then obviously you could fill it with like 4 bottles or probably, oh, it's like small. I don't know if the video captures just how tiny this thing is. This is a small ass little thing. This is not that big, which is what makes it cool. You can put it probably anywhere. So that would be the 4th thing finished, and now we can get started on the one that I'm the most excited about. The one that is like the original idea for why we're doing any of this in the first place. This is the one thing I wanted to do, and the rest of these were just bonuses. I'm gonna be turning this head into a table. This is like, I'm kind of excited for it. This didn't come out as dark as I wanted it to. I wanted this to look like a piece of cast. Obviously it's still darker, it'll offset itself from the aluminum look of the head. This one is just like the biggest task. Mainly because it needs to support itself and it needs to support a piece of glass on top of it, and I have no idea how we're doing either of those. But first things first, let's take this guy in here and figure out some kind of legs for it. Best part about working with aluminum is that it was super easy to drill into this. Like, it's so soft. I literally just tapped a couple screws into there. Probably get a better gauge for it on the ground. Yeah, dude, it actually sits pretty level, and it kind of looks okay with these. Like, you guys could have used whatever you wanted. You guys could have went out and bought stuff. Like, you can use literally anything to do that. The fact that I just had those laying around and they actually look like pretty dope is pretty dope. So now what we gotta do is we gotta put the intake manifold on. I wanna put the valve cover on. For the valve cover, I'm literally just using it the way it was. Obviously, I gotta clean it a little bit, but a lot of you guys may be like, oh, you should paint it, you should do this, you should do that. This valve cover, to me, represents a lot of things. This represents, you know, like the 1.5 that was in there in the first place. This represents like the whole entire Civic build. I want it to look like that because that's how it was in my car. and it's special to me that way. This is looking so dope. And now we essentially just have to figure out how we're gonna get a piece of glass to stay over top of this. For the glass, I have been trying to find something on like Craigslist, like Let Go, Kijiji, like any of those apps that's just like, you know, a coffee table that someone's giving away, or like something like that where I can just take the glass off it and not have to go buy glass. I have been so out of luck. I've been looking for like weeks and I haven't found anything. Just like everything I find is like real table size, and this thing is just way too tiny for that. So I have one hidden gem spot that sometimes you find the absolute best stuff, and sometimes it's a bust. Not that IKEA is a very hidden place, but they have a section at the end where like shit that's broken or shit that's just like extras gets tossed. So say they had like a display table and one of the legs broke, they can put the piece of glass at the end, and then you just buy the piece of glass for way cheaper. So that's the hidden gem we're talking about. I picked up 2 pieces of glass. I'm not sure if either of them are gonna work. I'm hoping at least one of them is gonna work. I paid 10 bucks for the smaller one, and I paid like 30 bucks for the bigger one. Okay, let's take a look at these options that I got for this table. Okay, option 1, the simple option. I think it's mainly the size I'm worried about with option 1. This is legit just a piece of glass, and there's 2 holes over here which I figured I could probably use to help like anchor it through this. I don't think this one's gonna be big enough, but I figured why not. Yeah, so that's kind of what I thought was gonna happen. It was hard to gauge how big it was gonna be before I had it all assembled. That one, too tiny. And it looks like we're gonna end up going with the one that I wasn't sure if I was gonna like. This one's got a border, dude. I thought this could be kind of dope, actually, because it's meant to be a table. It's meant to be a tabletop, so it has a border. Oh, dude. Dude, this might be the money. I picked up a piece of steel. I'm gonna try and just like bolt it into those holes, I think, and then just kind of bend it up so that it holds the glass. It won't be the prettiest thing in the world, but it was like 6 bucks and it's gonna work. And now we just have to cut and bend and build legs. Or are they called legs? Arms? I don't know. That is bracket number 1. I tried heating that and bending it. For some reason it didn't work. I literally shoved it in this crack beside like the beams of my garage door and just pushed it to bend it. Things you come up with when you don't have a vise. It looks so good. So for anybody that wants like the clear top, this is, I guess what it would look like. Something about this just doesn't look right. Like it looks like you're trying to show off the motor by like putting it in like a display almost. It doesn't scream table to me. I don't know why. The glass is obviously way too small. This was the other piece that I bought, but it doesn't scream table. It just says like, look at what's underneath this piece of glass. I'm sure a lot of you guys out there would prefer it this way. Like obviously it shows off the table more, but I like genuinely want to use it. So I'm not gonna use this, but I wanted to show you guys what it would look like in case you guys don't like the tabletop. This is what's gonna look like with the tabletop. That is what it looks like with the glass. I feel like in the garage, the white looks real funny on camera. This looks worse on camera. I think to get an accurate feel, we gotta bring this thing inside. I wouldn't want it to be like, you know, the centerpiece of the living room. I think that's a little bit too much. I'd like the centerpiece to be something normal and have this just as like side table to hold all the garbage over here or something. I don't know. Now you guys can see what I'm talking about. Like in the living room, this is kind of how it looks. If you're just chilling on the couch, it literally just looks like a table. Like now it looks better with the frame. I think now everybody can get the idea. You can toss your remotes on it, make it look a little bit nicer. Dude, this is so cool. This is the one that I've been wanting to do the whole time. This is the main reason we did this in the first place. Oh, I just gotta put the little rubber feet on, and then I guess we're good to go. Yeah, I gotta Windex this, and then we can get a little edit of it. We are finally done with that, dude. That probably doesn't seem like much, but that is the most, I don't know if I want to say intense, but that video took me like over a month because I'm doing it in the background because it's not like our normal content. So like I've been filming that video for over a month. It took me literally almost an entire day to edit it. Like I've been up since first thing this morning editing this video, and I just finished it right now. Definitely a lot of work. It definitely took a long time, but it was totally worth it. I'm so happy with this video. I'm so happy with what we made, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this. So if you guys made it right now, if you guys are watching right now, comment deck rug, because why would you comment deck rug unless you're watching this? Make sure you gave this video a big fat thumbs up. Make sure you guys are subscribed if you aren't already subscribed, if you have made it to this current point, and just let me know your thoughts. Comment down below, let me know what you guys think, because this was a lot of fun. It was something that, like I said, we don't normally do. It's normally car stuff, installs and stuff, and this is like, I had a lot of fun doing it, and it was a lot of fun to make the video, to watch the video. That's all I have for you guys. This video is already long enough. We don't need to talk anymore. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, and stay committed.